is the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. And just to backtrack a little bit, just to inform you, just apart from the Africa Continental Free Trade Area as one of the flagship projects for the Agenda 2063 by the African Union, we also have the Integrated High-Speed Train Network, which aims to connect all African capitals and commercial centers. Also under the Agenda 2063, there's a formulation of African commodity strategy. This is just to transform Africa from a raw material supplier, which Africa does, we actually low on the value adding chain. So there's also the African passport and free movement of people. You cannot talk trade without talking about the free movement of people. And if I just remind you, Kenya and South Africa did remove the visa requirement for its citizens. So right now it's very easy for Kenyans to move to South Africa or even South Africans to come to Kenya. So those are some of the barriers that are actually in place that is actually hindering into trade within the continent. So again, we look at some of the numbers in as far as trade is concerned or intertrade is concerned within the African continent. O'Brien had already mentioned about the 17%, very low. What this means is just 17% is what within the African continent, whether export or import, that is what the African continent is doing in as far as trading with it itself at 17%, which means the rest is going out of the African continent. Definitely that is actually hampering the economic development within the continent. Now, if you compare the numbers to other continents, for instance, Asia is trading at 40% within itself. The USA is trading at 60%, while the European Union is trading at 70%, that is export and import. Now, what are some of those barriers that are hindering the intertrade within Africa? Definitely infrastructure is just one of them. If you look at it, 16 African countries are landlocked, which means they have no access to sea or ocean. That means they depend on other countries. For example, our neighbor Uganda is landlocked and has